obviously sitting here with the one and only Teddy Riley here at Underground Books here in Sacramento. So, Teddy, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
So, tell us first, you've got a book. Tell us what is the inspiration behind the book.
Well, basically, it's about my life, and all the people that I've worked with, and just my path of, do's and don'ts, and could be something that could be a roadmap for kids who want to make it in the business and go as far as I have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha. If you wanted to sum up something specific about the book that you think people can take from it, what is that?
Um, Basically, like I said, it's a roadmap of things that I did in my life, not just in music, but outside of music as well. So, and then I even, talked about the things that didn't work for me. So it kind of gives them, like insight on what they need to do. Things like um, I really wanted my music to be on the radio. I wanted my music out there, and I didn't think about the business.
Hmm.
I thought about, hey, it's about to play on this radio station, that radio station, and my business wasn't together, on getting residuals. So yeah,
Okay.
so that's one thing you don't follow. And then half of my life after first half, I started getting my residuals,
Right.
doing my business and having the right people. It's your camp that is going to, make the difference of how you would be successful financially and as an artist or a creator.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Well, good. Now, you are the creator of New Jack Swing. It is, and you really are a cultural icon driving music, particularly in the 80s and 90s for the African American community. If there is one record that best describes your music, what do you think it is?
It would be Remember the Time.
Okay, say more.
Yeah. I mean, I have a few, but Remember the Time is that main one that gives you just the heart of R&B fused as New Jack Swing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be Remember the Time.
If you had to describe New Jack Swing, how would you describe it?
If I described it, it would be it's a movement, you know. We didn't just cater to just the music. It was fashion, it was everything, technology. So you know, it was more of a culture, you know, and less of the music. The music kind of drove it, but it really hit the mass and the culture.
Yeah. Is there a song that maybe the music industry or people underestimate as far as one of your iconic songs?
Mm, I wouldn't say because all of the music was accepted. I can't really say that one was off. Even album cuts, people have just made and embraced it. So
Mm, gotcha. Um, Black music in particular has been like the soundtrack for both celebration and protest. Where do you see your legacy in that spectrum of the history of Black music?
oh wow, it's I can tell you maybe 50% all over Black culture. I never like forced myself or went out and did pop music. My music became popular, and it was based on life experiences, that people can relate to. So that's what made it popular. And it trickled into the pop, you know, pop artists started, doing it. Pop artists started requesting doing music with me, but I never fell to the pop side. I always did Black music.
Um, Coming up as a young person, did you always want to get into music?
Yes.
Mhm.
At the age of 5, I was picked up on the stage by Gladys Knight singing Neither One of Us. And my auntie, who's actually my godmother, she asked me the question, now that this have happened and you've experienced being on stage, what is it that you want to be when you grow up? And I told her I want to be a star.
Okay. Gotcha. Who were some of the influencers in your life musically?
Gladys Knight, Michael Jackson, the Jackson 5, who I got to work with all of them. And then Johnny Guitar Watson.
Ooh, that's a good pull right there.
And Roger Troutman, Stevie Wonder, of course, Prince. The list goes on. But on the gospel side, it's Mighty Clouds of Joy.
Ooh.
And John P. Key, Kim Burrell, and the Winans.
Yeah. And you almost got to work with almost everybody on your list.
Yes, yes, almost every.
Who were some of the ones that you didn't get to work with?
Kim Burrell, John P. Key, Gladys Knight. But I got to tell her, you know, when she picked me up, well, I got to tell her later when I worked with the Winans.
Wow.
And she was just floored. She was like, "Oh, you're that kid," because it's not something that she do every day, or every time she's performing. So I was that kid. So
wow, that's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
That's a full circle moment for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. If you were you talked a little bit about the book and how you want to use it to kind of help artists behind you. If you were 25 years old today, what would be, who would you want to produce?
Well, I was 25 today. Everybody. I'm like Mike Tyson. I'll fight anybody. I work with anybody. It doesn't matter. I got to work with some great artists. I've worked with Tom Jones, Mick Jagger, of course, Stevie. But I would want to work with Luther Vandross. Because I would be 25 and he would be, what? I think he would be 35 or almost 35, 36. I got to hang out with him. We actually flew the Concorde together. And we almost saw our lives before us. I was finishing working with in the studio with Boy George in London. And he had just had a concert. We both made it to the airport around the same time. We were late, so our flight, we wouldn't have made the flight. He was there before me. Yeah, a little bit before me, so he was able to make the flight. He canceled the flight. He rescheduled and took the next flight because he wanted to sit and talk with me.
Yeah.
And when that happened, that flight went down.
You mean when you say
that
it crashed?
I missed, yes.
Are you serious?
Concorde, the one that gets you from New York to London in 2 hours.
So had it not been for a chance meeting with Luther.
No, a chance meeting of him sitting and staying.
Yes, yeah. Meeting and literally staying.
Yeah.
You would have been on that flight.
Yes.
Okay.
And he would have too.
And he would have too.
Yeah.
Why?
Shows you how God works. Why? God is just amazing. We sat and we talked, and when we were talking, we heard the news.
Wow.
It's like, it's just, how Luther is, boy. This is amazing how this all turned out to be. And, we talked about working with each other and then lost contact.
So I think you a little misunderstood my question because you were talking about artists who before. I'm curious, who are some of the artists today that you would like to produce?
Artists today, because I was thinking, if I was 25, everybody was 25 with me,
No, if you were young Teddy Riley today,
okay,
who's on your list of people that you want to work with?
It would be Bruno Mars, um, Coco Jones, Lucky Day. Mm, It would be a Jelly Roll or Teddy Swim.
Okay.
If I did, the pop side, because they are very soulful.
Mm,
So yeah.
gotcha. Your music is unique and is your sound in today's music. Are producers do producers today know how to produce music like you did? It's different. Music is different.
I mean, some of them, but if you're talking traditional, no, they never have.
What's missing?
The tape machines.
Say more.
Hmm?
What do you mean? Say more about the tape machine.
The tape machines, the reel-to-reel,
Uh-huh.
they don't have that today. So they wouldn't know how to produce on the tape machine
Gotcha.
or physically doing it because they all have, sequences. I've worked without sequences. I've done music and played all the instruments from zero, time code all the way to if it's a 5-minute song. We wouldn't, punch. We play all the way through. So it's different musicianship. So they wouldn't have never experienced that.
Gotcha. But you'd be fine. You'd be fine in today's music.
Of course, I am very fortunate. I'm part of a organization. We create software and apps, and we're creating an AI app right now that is out. We're on first stage, and it's growing. And it's not like Suno, where Suno takes from musicians. We're strictly dealing with the theory books and sheet music, and everything will come from that.
Mm.
And then our cloud is not here. It's actually in China.
Okay.
Yeah. So it won't be anybody calling any type of rules here.
Gotcha. Okay. If you had advice for an artist to protect themselves in the music world today, what would be a couple of things that you tell them?
I would tell them to make sure that they have split sheets where you all discuss before the record comes out or the composition comes out. You're all in agreement of who gets what.
That's on the money side, or
On the money side, on the percentage side,
percentage side.
residuals.
Mhm.
And then just making sure that because I've done things where I've missed getting my residuals because I never thought about the business. So that's what I would tell producers today. Just make sure you get your credits and make sure you have your split sheets on what your percentage would be.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
So you were responsible. You said the song that would sum up your music, "Remember the Time." Obviously, that's Michael Jackson. Tell us a little bit about your relationship with Michael, and if there's a story in there that you can share with us that you remember.
My relationship with Michael is more of a brotherhood, and a lot of things that we have done in the studio, working in the studio, was very sacred until now in the book. Things like, Michael was always, how you say, retro when it comes to creating music. No drum machines, no machines at all. Upright piano and just coming up with great music and great songs. So only time I got to go to the drum machine was after we finished like creating that. And then I would go and compose it.
Mm,
Yeah.
gotcha. Your music, you mentioned earlier New Jack Swing is more than just the music; it's culture. It's the whole thing. Um, and you moved people in a way for a generation, basically.
Yeah.
Do you think music artists, because you mentioned some of the people in the ones that influence you, do you think musical artists have a responsibility to do more than just, particularly Black music artists, and have a responsibility to do more than just entertain? Do you think Black music artists have a responsibility to be more culturally, politically active?
Of course, I wouldn't say politically, but humanitarian, giving back and doing things with they say fans, I say friends, and basically helping others elevate. I think I've done that all my life, you know, discovering artists and creators like Pharrell, Rodney Jerkins, and Blackstreet Guys and Guy and all of the artists I've worked with, creating signatures. And, that's my way of giving back, but I also do community work as well. I moved to Virginia when there was no music scene.
Right.
And there was nothing there but Jimmy Buffett. And when I moved there, it kind of changed everything. They started building things around me, but I've never gotten the credit for it. And it's okay. But I know what I've done, and the people know what I've done. And that's the reason why now they're, working out a way to give me my flowers, So I'm very patient. I'm always on spiritual and God's time.
There you go. All right. Well, Danny, I appreciate you taking a few minutes with us, and thank you for coming to Sacramento. We look forward to reading the book and hearing more about your journey.
Thank you for having me, and I look forward to coming back, especially to perform.
All right.
I really love it here. I perform here, all the Bay Areas, and they have amazing music lovers here.
Yeah, very true.
That's what I love about here.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.